Hey, you guys, we are back with another beautiful, amazing young lady here, Detox Tori. Thank you so much for coming on our channel. We appreciate you and your time. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to have a conversation. I'm excited.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So I'd like to start out by saying, how was your beginning when you was growing up as a child? How was your eating habits?
Ooh, interesting question. Um, so my whole family's Latin. I'm a blend of Dominican, Puerto Rican, and Panamanian. And my parents are like the first generation that became more Americanized.
Mhm.
And so I grew up, of course, it was Spanish food, but it was Chinese food and pizza and McDonald's and everything because that was, it's crazy how being able to eat like that was like elevated, right? It was made out to seem more bougie almost than it is. And I mean, we had access to it and that's what we were fed. So that's pretty much my whole childhood through college all the way up until my second year of college. I was eating like that.
Mhm. Wow, sound like how I grew up as well. Um,
Mm.
so how did you become raw vegan, plant-based? How did you begin? Was you plant-based first and did you get into raw foods or you high raw? How did this journey begin?
So I don't claim the word vegan currently. I don't claim the word raw vegan. I would say my diet mostly is like 99% raw vegan. But I know that the demands on my body and how I feel, like I don't anticipate I'm vegan for my whole life. I do cleansing and detoxification to heal chronic disease. The body cannot cleanse and detox when you're consuming animal products, regardless. So, if
Mhm.
we align that with a vegan diet, sure. But the facts of the matter is, we just can't use any products in the body to heal to the level that we're looking for when someone's dealing with chronic disease like that.
Mhm.
So that's what I just like to clarify when I kind of do these things. And everyone's like, raw vegan, raw food. Like, what got you into that?
Mhm.
Um, so in my healing journey, and I've said my story exists all over the internet in many places. So I don't want to be redundant. But in my journey, like I had an instance where I had this autoimmune reaction and needed chemotherapy.
Mhm.
I tried to heal my body from the chemotherapy because that's what's had the craziest aftermath in my body. I lost 50% of my hair, my skin blew up with acne, I couldn't really gain weight after that. So healing from chemo was the problem.
Mhm.
And it started with just the mainstream kind of healthy eating, right? We go organic chicken and grass fed beef, and let's do olive oil to saute and cook veggies instead of canola oil and stuff like that. But it never got me the level of healing that I knew that I needed because chemo goes straight to my liver, goes straight to my spleen, goes straight to the lymphatic system, and consuming animal and even high oil is just very stagnating in the body. So naturally the progression was like, okay, this isn't enough. What's next? Next comes, let's have more raw foods, greens, salads. Sure, I was still consuming meat and fish. And then what's next? Cleansing then came into my realm and then was like, okay, I have to drop animal. I have to go all plant. How do I get enough food if I'm doing all plant? And then from there, I've just learned how cleansing the body restores your absorption. You can easily maintain weight off of high raw, mostly raw foods. And as long as you consume enough, we're good.
Yes. Yes. Wow, that is amazing journey. And I know you're still, going through the detoxing and those different things. But have you seen any healing in your body? I know your skin is so beautiful. And I know you do the different things that's dealing with detox. Have you seen any other changes in your body during your detox phases?
Oh, absolutely. Um, so I'm fairly young, right? I'm 25, and I was forced to care about my body really early. Like all of my peers, everyone's drinking and smoking and having a good time, right? So
Mhm,
and just eating whatever. I just couldn't get away with that after I had this situation happen. So I mean, now like my skin is better than it ever has been in the last 4 years. I've been dealing with crazy chronic acne across my face for 4 entire years relentlessly, and like only recently over the last like 3 months or so it's gotten to like this level, which, I'm very proud of. It's exciting finally. I grew my hair back completely like to this, right? So that's great. And now I maintain I maintain weight that before, to maintain the weight that I'm at, I would have to like have 3 egg omelets for breakfast and make sure I'm eating a ton of rice and make sure I'm eating like a ton of bread. That's how I maintained this weight before, because my body was just plumping itself up off of junk and inflammation.
mhm,
Versus now, I maintain this weight beautifully off of high raw plant foods, and I'm working out and I can lift and I'm, toning up and gaining muscle. So I'd say those are the three most prevalent things that I've noticed, just because across the last 4 years, the inability to gain weight, growing my hair back, and my skin were like these flags that were like, you're not healed at all with this approach that I was trying before, which was grass-fed meats and a ton of supplement protocols from like naturopathic doctors and all that stuff.
mhm. Wow. Wow. Thanks for sharing that with us. I'm thinking about me when I experienced eating meat last year, going back to eating it, and how it did me. But my body just didn't process it for me. Uh,
Hmm.
wow, it was weird. But anyway, I just anyway, this is about you.
No, well, let me ask you, are you fully raw vegan?
Yes, I'm high raw.
Okay.
Right now I'm high raw, but I normally be 100. I don't know 100%. And I'm not with the titles, but I just use them, so people can identify with probably what they're eating. But right now I am eating high raw. But normally I eat a high raw. I'm just leave it like that. But yes.
Did you start this for a health reason or ethical reason?
Well, it was for health reason in 2009. I started out with green smoothies challenges on my old channel, and a lot of people was introduced to green smoothies, and they didn't even know what it was. And I had a lot of great success. I lost a lot of weight, lost over 200 pounds, but I also gained weight back even when I went and started eating the meat. But anyway, yeah, it started in 2009, and then I got pregnant 3 times. Um,
Oh, what a blessing.
yeah, but I was going through a detox on my first pregnancy, um, which was like 14 years after our first child. I had a miscarriage because I was going through a detox. I was doing raw foods, and my body didn't recognize, the baby. I was going through a serious detox because I was taking birth control pills, and I had all these um little bumps, I guess, popping up everywhere, and it looked just like birth control pills, the size of a birth control pill.
Wow.
And so yeah, got off
Wow.
of that, and I was getting pregnant 3 times. But yeah, and it was something that the doctor said I wasn't gonna be able to do, but the foods is very powerful. So yeah.
Oh yeah, the foods heal everything. Like the body, the second you stop putting stuff in the body that
Mhm,
is causing problems, the
mhm.
body heals itself right back up fairly quickly too, you know?
Yes, yes, yes. I know you have a teacher, or you guys work together. I guess she's your teacher. I know you guys work together. I don't remember her name, and I know she's not. You don't do the vegan title and things of that nature, which is cool. But who else inspires you? And if you want to talk about her as well, would be great.
Yeah, so she honestly, people who inspire me, right? I don't think anyone inspired me to like take my health seriously, right? So that's like it's all just, I've recognized that there's a path that I have to follow, and as stuff wasn't working, new modalities or approaches came into my realm somehow, whether it be through other people or detox coaches. Um, I had done like a first ever detox that put my body in kind of an extreme depleted state. It was like 4 months on 100% fruit juices.
Mhm.
Um, and that taught me a lot of lessons on how to not do it, right? Especially being a woman, we need a lot more minerals. We need fat to maintain our hormone cycles, our fertility. Like fruit just does not cut it for an extended period of time like that.
Yeah.
And my teacher, my mentor, she's probably my most significant teacher. Like I've had a couple, and I have a couple peers who also I bounce ideas off of, and we kind of guide and help shape each other's approaches.
Mhm.
But Haley is her name, Haley Porter. She is my most significant teacher, and I have worked with her closely with my body. And now I take on clients with her too. We take on clients together.
Mhm.
So people have like 2 practitioners per case, just so they feel comfortable and confident that they have multiple opinions and multiple perspectives.
Mhm.
So she's been the most significant one. And of course, like I said, people have come into my circle that have guided and kind of directed me into this life of cleansing as the root cause to get rid of the issue.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, Haley's definitely my most significant.
Yes. Wow, that's great. That is great. I know you work with detox, helping people to detoxify and heal their bodies. So, what is the process of detoxifying the body, and also do you use herbs or just food only?
Yeah, good question. So the word detox obviously has gone completely mainstream, and detox is literally just removing the waste from your body and restoring the tissues, restoring the minerals, restoring function.
Mhm.
Um, so I do use herbs, absolutely. Herbs are Earth's medicine, right? We do herbs, we do food, and then we do different body treatment modalities that support elimination, whether people are dry brushing or saunaing, making sure to move their body, castor oil packs, enemas, all of these things you kind of heighten in your routine during detox. Of course, I'm not actively in detox right now, but I might do an enema once every 2 weeks. I might do some castor oil packs a couple times a week. During detox, actively, when you're stirring up and shaking up toxins with these herbs that are super cleansing, and then your diet naturally is super cleansing when it's a raw vegan diet, anyways.
Mhm.
So we need to support the elimination of these toxins that are getting stirred up at a fast rate, because most of our kidneys are not filtering the right way. Most of our digestive systems are not eliminating 3 times a day to keep up with the toxins that are being shaken up. So we can support via those other body treatments.
Yes, yes. And I know a lot of people, like you said, is so common today about the detox. And a lot of people think, they can detox in 30 days and then they're completely healed. It's just amazing. Or I could do a 30-day juice fast or feast. But it's a process and it takes years. It can take years, 10 years, 20. It just imagine what it depends on what people have been exposed to. And I like that you're doing that and that you're helping people. And I do have your information down in the description down below. My little helper is not here helping me today, but anyway, I do have your information in the description down below. So you guys, please contact Tori and her um, mentor. And they're doing some amazing work on Instagram. And I have a link tree if you had one. I just put everything down in the description down below. So, what is some of the misconceptions of eating a high raw plant-based uh, lifestyle? What are some of the misconceptions?
Um so I feel like people who eat this way, right? People who are the audience already in this space know the misconceptions, right? Everyone's like, "Can I get enough protein? Can I maintain my weight on this?
Mhm,
Can I?" Like those are really probably the main two, right?
mhm,
Um I think I think I'll answer this question in a different way because I don't really care to talk about the protein myth anymore. I've done that so many times. And like, yes, you can gain weight on this lifestyle. Like, that's all done for. But I think one of the biggest misconceptions when healing your body and detoxing your body, and of course, we use a raw vegan diet to do that, or I'm not even going to say we use a raw vegan because you can get away with healing your body off of like steamed vegetables if people need a little bit more grounding during the process. Like it's not the end of the world at all if
Right,
you can't maintain raw
right,
completely through a healing process.
right.
I guess that's one of the misconceptions.
Yes.
And then I would say like the length of time, like you kind of just alluded to it. You were like, people think they can do this off of a 30-day or they just need a juice fast and everything's better. Like I couldn't clear acne with a juice fast, right? And I see other coaches out here who are like, you can heal and then the method I use is a 30-day juice fast. It's like, well, what about the people who actually do not find results on that, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of time that it's going to take to heal chronic disease
Mhm.
is not 30 days. It's not even 3 months. It's not even 4 months. A
Mhm.
normal detox protocol is around 3 or 4 months when you're actively in it, in it, in it. And then when you come out, you need another detox. You need another 3 months. You need another 4 months.
Yes.
Like my experience has been cycles of detoxing across 2.5 years to get to this point.
Mm,
And whenever I work with people, like the first thing that I tell them is do not put expectations around your healing time.
yeah.
Don't do that. Because if you're giving your body like an ultimatum in your mind, you're like, I need to heal this. I need to clear this. I'm going to do 100% clearing this out or whatever it is in this 3-month detox. You're putting stress on your body from the mind and you have a block to complete healing. Like you're putting a block on yourself when you think that way. So
Yes. Yes. Thanks for sharing that. And wow, thanks for even bringing that out as well. So, do you think that people that is important that we use organic foods to heal, during the detox phases, or just even just eating regular? Do you think is it important to have organic, or it doesn't matter as long as you're eating fresh fruits and vegetables?
well, like there are levels to this.
Hmm.
It like organic is always better. It's always going to be better. You are always going to heal in the most efficient way with organic foods because you don't have pesticides interfering with the healing process.
Hmm.
Pesticides break down the gut lining. Pesticides have to get processed through the liver and get overburdened in the liver. All of those excess chemicals end up in the lymphatic system, floating around the body, contributing to accumulation. So obviously, organic is better.
Hmm.
Um, like I don't necessarily like to hear when people are like, I don't have access to organic because every one of my clients in some way, shape, or form tracks down some source of organic. Maybe if their diet is even 30% organic,
Hmm.
40% organic,
Yeah.
it's better than nothing. And there are farmers everywhere.
Mhm.
Like farming is a business, right? It's just like a juice bar is a business,
Mhm.
a thrift store is a business. These exist everywhere. So go support local farmers for real. Like do the digging. Farmers don't have social media like this. Farmers don't have internet presence like this. Farmers don't have fancy websites like this. Like call around, do some digging, drive up and down the streets, go to town hall in the center of your town and be like, "Hey, are there any farms that you know about around here?"
Mhm.
Find farmers markets. Like it's a lot of effort and sure it's inconvenient. I know that it's inconvenient and it's a lot of work and it's annoying. But when we're all living in the mainstream and in the matrix and we're going to Walmart and Stop and Shop and Whole Foods for our groceries, these groceries are high chemicals and low mineral content. So
Mhm.
that combination is not a combination for healing.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And I like to also add to what you're saying about the organic. You can grow your food,
Mm.
on balconies. I've grown food in flower pots and things of that nature, but we grow food here. Um, and I love it. It's nothing like going and pick your tomato and it tastes totally different from the store. And then now microgreens,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
So high in minerals too.
Yes, and
Mm.
then it's fresh. You can do it. Yeah, yeah. Wow, this is great. Great conversation. Thanks for sharing all this information and giving us the knowledge that you have learned. Um, wow. Now, doing the detoxing and doing raw foods and or plant-based foods, what are your thoughts on fermenting foods during the detoxing, or you just want to just stick with uh, just fresh foods?
I love this question. I do not get this question very often. So, I think fermented foods have a time and place, right?
Mhm.
I There is a natural health institute in Puerto Rico called the Ann Wigmore Natural Health Institute that
Yeah.
I went to go learn at and learn from. And they use high fermented foods all the time, every day.
Mhm.
Now, in my experience, the way that I set myself up to go there was I did like a 2-month cleanse
Mhm.
before I went there. And then obviously while I'm there, it's a 2-week span of time where I'm super high fermented. So I've seen in my own body, and I've done this with a couple clients, fermented foods and using them in abundance, right? When you're fermenting sauerkraut and you're using like there's a mixture that you can make called the Rejuvelac, and
Yeah.
it is,
Yes.
oh, I'm glad you know. This
Oh
is
yeah,
perfect.
I studied Ann Whitmore.
Oh, yay. Amazing. Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
So the Rejuvelac, for people who don't know, is like blended cabbage pretty much, and you ferment this liquid, and then you can make energy soup. You can add it in blended soup. You can make nut cheeses or seed cheeses. So when you're on this like rebuilding protocol of the gut microbiome after a period of cleansing, that's when I feel like high fermented is very effective. When you're consuming fermented maybe like 3 or 4 times a day for
Mhm.
that 2 week or 3 week span of time after you've completely cleared the gut, that makes so much sense for me. And I've loved how that feels in my body.
Mhm.
In general, a little serving of fermented food here and there regularly throughout life is amazing, but I think the high fermented protocol is not necessary as like a daily practice.
You know what I'm finding um, is that everyone is different, and some people, like even my daughter, um, can have a issue with histamines. So
Mm.
now we're dealing with fermented foods and histamines, which don't go together. So now cases are different. Um, and I like what you said, clearing the gut. And that is important, I believe, to um, if you're going to consume fermented foods, you got to clear the gut, because if there's something going on in there and you got high histamines, it's just going to magnify things. So,
Hmm.
like I had to,
Magnify is a good word. Yes.
yeah. So, wow. This is great. I'm enjoying this, Tori. This is good. This is good.
I know. I love it. And I'm glad that you're hip to Ann Wigmore too. Most
Oh,
people are
yeah.
not.
Yeah, I have her CDs. I have a whole
The
study. I have books.
CDs.
Yes, this is like old. This is like from 2009 for me. Like I've been studying her. I have a certificate and all of that kind of stuff. And
Oh,
raw food and
yes.
stuff. And I used to do the other rejuvelat with the wheat berries and the other things. I have that on my channel, and growing wheatgrass and all. Like
Oh, you have the OG.
yeah, back in the days. Yeah, and I still do it today.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, this is good because it's great to get information and pull from it to, the things that resonate with you. And it's like you are young, and this is what I love. Me and young people, when I was in the church, and like me and my husband, we was over the youth, and they always wanted to come hang with us, after church, and come to our house. And children always was drawn to me. So I love youth. I love young people, and I have a 28-year-old daughter. So like I just love it, and we have a great relationship. And it's just amazing to see young people taking their health in their hands And I know today, and I've said this years ago on my channel, that a lot of children today are being, um, they're not the same. Like they're
Mm.
coming out with pre-existing things from the process of what their parents ate. And we have to awaken ourselves. And a lot of young people are doing it today. My younger daughter, she just turned 13, and she is so drawn to this. She's so drawn to health, and I'm just seeing her blossoming and being conscious of what she's doing to her. Anything she's doing, she's like, I want to be raw vegan. I'm like, okay. you know, I'm not, pushing anything on her like that, but she's realizing, okay, I had enough. No, I can't do this. And to be conscious today, like, I am amazed of you guys. I mean, I appreciate you guys, and then you're doing the work, you're sharing your journey. So thank you so much, because you're helping people, you helping older people and young children, to recognize you don't have to be sick. You don't have to feel, not being your health, being your best. You can go through this journey of cleaning out your system
Mm-hmm.
and having that beautiful skin and having the energy level to get you to what you need, where you want to be, and have a clear mind thinking. I apologize. I'm excited. But I love it. I just love it. Okay.
Well,
I'm
even like you're the generation of parents who are like conscious, right? Like this, I feel like I'm at an era now where a lot of my friends are having kids and a lot of my friends have kids already. So, like, I have friends aged 20, 27 to like 35 now.
Mhm.
And I think that whenever I hear like resistance to, oh, I can't get my kid to eat that way, or if I even have friends who don't have kids yet and they're like, I don't want to have kids in this world because the society and everything, like toxins and just agenda and all that stuff,
Mhm.
like, I see it happening from all of my friends who have kids now. They are doing it the right way and it's working, right? They're
Yeah.
not allowing their kids to consume toxic things. They're not allowing their kids to like fall into agendas. They're not allowing their kids to, I don't know, become addicted to sugar and chemical foods and all that stuff. Like I see it working with a lot of people, actually, a lot of my friends.
Mhm.
So it's just it's crazy that this is like a new trend now. Health is suddenly like natural health is suddenly a new thing over the last year even. It's boomed.
Yes.
Um and I love it. I'm
Yes.
happy it's a trend. Make it even more of a trend.
Yes. A demand.
Mhm.
Yes, demand the alternative, holistic detoxing, and this is needed today, because even though it's been here, but to see young faces
Mm.
talking about it and doing it, and sharing, even if they fell off, whatever that means, and showing the journey still, like, I'm back here and this is what I'm doing, and this is my process, and this is my healing. And this is needed. This is well needed. And I'm so appreciative for you, and your light just shining so bright. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the flowers.
You're welcome. I apologize. I do love young people. I just enjoy them. Enjoy. I think it keeps me young. Keep
Mm.
uh, energized and going. Having a purpose and seeing people getting it today. Seeing
Mm.
people seeing old knowledge and applying it, and then bringing in new knowledge and sharing that, so we can all be awakened and walk in it. I just thank you. When I have young people on here, I just do this. I get excited because I do. I love it.
I feel sometimes I feel a little too young, right? Like, and I might be the youngest person who's like in the detox space on the internet, right? We're just talking about the internet at this point.
Mhm.
But I think I am the youngest and it makes me feel like okay, like do I even have a place here to be talking about this? But being validated by my peers, especially because I am this young, like they're like, no, Tori, listen, you have this wisdom that has come onto you because you've had a more extreme experience than most of us,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, okay, you're right. And I feel like there's also a reason why I have had the opportunity to like be in this role so young, because I have energy for this,
Hmm.
like even some of my peers who are like 35, even they're kind of on the back end. They're like, how do I get out of this? Because working with people is draining. Like
Yeah.
working one-on-one with people's bodies, and they do freak out, and it's okay, I get it, but like it is a lot.
Hmm.
And right now I'm just in a point in my life where I don't really have responsibilities, right? I don't have kids. I pour my heart and soul into content on content on content on content. And I can only do that because I am this young. I don't see myself working at this capacity when I have kids. Who knows when that comes? I just don't see that for myself. So I know there's a reason why I was blessed with this now
Yeah.
at this era in my life.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that's the thing about being grateful for the pains or the things that we experience. Is a lesson to be learned, right? And then here you had experienced this the different things that you experience and the chemo and all those different things, but it's because it's something that is needed today. And yes, it is painful, but it's the lesson. It's the people that you are here to reach, you know, in the midst of it all. I used to be like, how is this gonna work for my good? How this pain, because I did have my last pregnancy. um it was right after my uh my second pregnancy, my third pregnancy. um I had another I had a miscarriage, and then I had Adriana, which is my third pregnancy. And when I was pregnant with Adriana, I heard that I was going to get pregnant 3 months after I had Adriana, and I did get pregnant 3 months after, but I wasn't present in that pregnancy because Ezrana had eczema. And I'm like, what is this? I didn't understand what is going on. My baby is like 3 months and well, actually it was about 2 months, and she had these rosy cheeks, and I couldn't understand why is this. And I'm like, oh, it's cute, but I didn't know what was going on. But it was terrible. It was like
Mhm.
the worst thing ever. And then I wasn't present during that pregnancy because I was so in tune to my baby. Like, what is going on? She was just doing this all day and all night. I wasn't, I wasn't here, you
Mhm.
know. But then when it was time for me to have my baby wasn't coming. Um, and I was having her naturally at home and everything. I had prior two C-sections.
Mm.
Um, and when I did have my baby, I ended up going to the hospital, but my baby was stillborn, and I couldn't
Mm.
understand, like, what is this? Like, I couldn't wrap my head. My head, I could not understood. I just couldn't comprehend. But while I was pregnant with Ezra, which was my last pregnancy, I heard this baby is strong. And prior to that, I heard Ezrana is uh she's like like she's a child that's bossy, because when I was pregnant with her, she kicked me, you know, and she told me to move. And I never, like, this baby just told me to move. And I had to turn over, and I couldn't believe this baby. I heard her say move. And then with Ezra Naya, I heard this is a strong baby. And I'm thinking, oh, this baby gonna be strong. But then I learned this baby came here to turn me from my way of thinking. She
Mm.
came here, even though it was painful, very painful. Um, she showed me life ain't what you got a shield over your face. You have been controlled by other people, and life is not what you've been told. So that's what she came here to do. The lesson, the lesson from her was I am strong, stronger than what I thought. And the shield, she helped me to take off my eyes so that I can see what was around me for real. So
Mhm.
that's why I say the pain, it hurts, but it's a lesson in all of it. So what is the lesson so I don't have to repeat it? What
Mm.
is the lesson that I have to learn from and then I have to teach? So in the midst of the pain, there is a lesson. In the mid, I don't know why how I get on all this, but it is where we come up and it's like we in the you might a person can feel like they're in the valley, but then once they start growing and get on top, then you see, oh wow, this is why I had to experience this, so I can help this person. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I can help this person. And you see it, later. Or you can see it right then through the pain. So thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you for sharing that with me. Whenever I hear like mama stories and just women's experience. I don't have a kid yet, but I really like I always ask if I meet like a new woman, I'm like, "Oh, are you a mom?" Like there's just something about it now that I'm getting older where I'm like, I want like the presence of mothers. I'm like, "Oh, I'm here to learn. I'm here to listen. I'm here to bask in your energy." Like it's just a different essence and it's so divine and powerful and just pure. So thank you for sharing that with me.
Oh, you're welcome. You teaching me here, and you bringing. It's just some powerful energy, and thank you. Just thank you. Thank you, Tori. Girl, you got it going on, okay? You got it. And
Thank you.
thank you for this strength that you have. You have this resilient about your it's just amazing, beautiful. Thank you. And I know I'm saying all this, but I mean it from the heart. I mean, it's like to me, you're my daughter, and I'm talking to my daughter. So thank you so much. So, do you eat a lot of fruits? And if so, um, does it keep you up at night? How does that work? And how much fruit do you eat?
I don't eat as much fruit as people think that I would. I eat a lot of greens, a lot of greens. I
Mhm,
think if I have fruit, it's always in a smoothie, but it's always a green smoothie.
mhm,
Um, if I'm gonna snack on fruit, it might be some grapes. But I'm not high fruit at all. And in terms of like I've never had a problem with sleep in my life. That is like what God has blessed me with. I do not have a problem. Like I will sleep 8 hours fully through, knocked out, never have a problem. So no, fruit wouldn't keep me up at night. Fruit has never, even when I did like that 4 months of fruit cleansing, sleep has just never been an issue.
mhm,
Um, but I would say I felt great in terms of my energy when I was super high fruit because obviously the body's running off of sugar, the sugar that the body wants to run off of. I'm just giving it all that. So it was fine, but it's just there's a sacrifice when I was super super high fruit and the sacrifice was I lost my period and my teeth started to break down a little bit, and it just wasn't enough minerals for what I needed. I'm a body that depletes fairly quickly. I'm naturally thin too. So people that are a little bit more thicker, they have a lot more to give. So they can handle a little bit more extreme styles of eating because they don't deplete like that.
mhm. Thanks for sharing that because I totally agree with you. The greens help to balance the sugars, you know, and it is important to get the minerals from the greens as well. As you spoken earlier, the soil and the things that is already depleted, we gotta get all this the balance with the foods. So, what does a typical day looks like in how you eat? I know I saw you tearing them grapes up, peeling them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Um Okay, so I'm not actively in detox. So the way that I'm gonna share is like kind of what my everyday lifestyle looks like. But during cleansing, it tightens up. I'm a little bit more on it with high volumes of food, a lot of cleansing foods, a lot of juices, a lot of things like that, but not really in everyday life. So I have a huge Vitamix worth of a smoothie. It's literally filled up with greens. Probably 75% of the Vitamix is greens, whether it's collards or what do I do? I do collards, or I'll do cilantro, or I'll do like dandelion greens even. So greens, and then my favorite smoothie combo is mango and cherry together. So I'll do
Mhm.
mango cherry with greens, and then spirulina and wheatgrass are my two super super high mineral additives that I put into my smoothies.
Mhm.
So that green smoothie first thing, and then I definitely eat a lot of food. I'm also tall. When you're tall, you do need more food.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So Vitamix, and then I'll probably have something else. So it might be like a steamed sweet potato with cinnamon and maple syrup in it, or I'll do like a chia pudding. This is
Mhm.
still in the morning. Chia pudding with some fruit on it, cut up bananas or blueberries or something like that. And
Mhm.
then I'll move into what you could consider lunchtime. I do a lot of like coconut wraps, a lot of sprouts are in there, chopped veggies, tomatoes, peppers. I do a lot of sauces with tahini. I love tahini. I do a lot of sauces with avocado as a base, so I have some fat now in the middle of the day. And I'll probably have, if I do coconut wraps or if I do like collard green wraps, I'm
Mhm.
eating like 5 of them. Like, and I'm taking 2 hours to eat it too. Like, this lifestyle requires a lot of chewing.
Yeah.
This lifestyle requires a lot of effort to have optimal digestion with all the raw foods.
Mhm.
So and then in the afternoon, I make a blend called green milk. I've named it, or me and my mentor have named it green milk. And it's a combination of just high dose spirulina, high dose wheatgrass. It's like 2 tablespoons of spirulina, 2 tablespoons of wheatgrass in a mason jar with water. And I add maple syrup so it tastes good. And that is so dense for
Mhm.
like that afternoon type of snack time before I would eat dinner.
Mhm.
And then dinner time is probably exactly the same as lunch. It might be a salad bowl or more wraps of some type. Still another type of sauce with tahini or avocado. Maybe some steamed broccoli, even. I do like steamed broccoli or some steamed beets.
Mhm.
I'll do like a mono meal, and it's like a massive plate. Like, if I'm doing steamed broccoli, it's a massive plate of steamed broccoli.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what it looks like. There's a lot of herbal teas throughout the day. I don't juice really often in my everyday life, but if I do juice, then a juice is thrown in there.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what it looks like.
Girl, you eating good over there.
Yeah, definitely. That's the priority. That's the priority. People make fun of me too a little bit because my grocery bill is no joke. Like, I don't want to say that eating this way is expensive, because what's more expensive? You spending a ton of effort at the doctors and a ton of money just with copays. Like, it evens out.
Yeah.
But people are like, "Damn, Tori, like you are grocery shopping all the time." And I'm like, "Yeah, like, I'm healing my body. Yes."
That sound like me over here. Yeah. I don't
Mhm.
like, to me, the best quality food that we can get, that's what I'm looking for.
Mm.
And the money part, we just not gonna worry about it. It's
Of
health,
course.
and what we can grow, and that's what we do. We grow food. So wow, this has been amazing. What is the legacy? You young, vibrant, you doing your thing, girl. So what is the legacy that you would like to leave behind? You got a long time for that, but you know what I'm saying. What's your legacy you like to leave behind?
I think that this is a good question. I think that I just want people to understand that you do not have to heal the body with very extreme methods. And also, like, for women, like, I really, really resonate with women, right? Sure, I have a masculine energy when I show up online. Like, I'm on live and I'm like, pop, 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 pop with all the info. It's a boss type energy. But
Yeah.
like, women, please make sure you are learning from women about your body,
Yeah.
right? Because, in my experience, I've learned from philosophies from men and it's just not applicable. It is not applicable.
Mhm.
And in my experience, like, I had the most toxic Western med drug in my body, and I completely cleared it out using only the earth, using food and herbs. So, if I can do that, if I'm fighting something that's so man made with only nature, it is absolutely possible to do anything with just nature. Nature has this divine wisdom and can correct even the stuff that humans have messed up, right?
Yes.
Um, I think that's my legacy. Like, anything is truly possible. And please make sure you maintain balance in your life.
Yes. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Now, do you have any last remarks you would like to share with us? Any closing remarks?
Mm, Closing remarks. Um, I think yes, I do. I show up online and I talk so much about the body and the physical body. And of course, that's what gets people very interested because it's super tangible and they can control their diet fairly easily. That's why I started talking about it. But like as I'm kind of moving through years now, kind of just talking about this,
Mhm.
I can't emphasize enough that I know healing the mind feels intimidating because the mind is a place that we can't even grasp. But ultimately, like a balanced mind equals a balanced body. You are going to find a block to your ability to physically heal if
Mhm.
you have narratives and these mental patterns that you're holding on to. Your body will not ascend to the physical level of healing that you are looking for if you are not balanced of the mind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Wow. So with the healing, you have to be balanced in the mind and the food. They go together.
They are literally, and I can't even say one comes before the other. It's not like, oh, heal your mind before your body or heal your body before your mind. It's like when you're starting this healing journey, both things are being worked on together because even when people start to detox, like the only reason people are having cravings or like addictions or like I can't do this, I can't do this is because they're mentally comfortable with the food patterns. They
Yeah.
use food as that emotional coping. They
Mhm.
use food and have this food addiction because it's an emotional thing happening.
Yeah.
So they're literally so intertwined.
Yes, that is true. And one thing I was asking my husband, I'm like, why is it that when it's the weekend, what they call the weekend, um, I want something, more heavy, hearty, or I start having cravings for like a pizza or, like a wrap, something that I would make here raw now. But or rice, because I wasn't eating rice or anything like that, and I know that stuff is not good. But I try to eat wild rice, sprouted or whatever. Um, like, why is that? And then I'm like, is it because when I was a child, Sundays, Saturday, they prepare Sunday big old feast after church. And I'm like, I want to do that, have something to do with it. I need to deal with that. But I don't, as now, I don't have that like I used to. Like, I got to have something, you know.
Mm.
That's just recent, like in the last couple of weeks. I'm feeling better. And I'm thinking, is that what it is? Because in my mind, I've been trained to eat a big meal on the weekend, or you eat pizza and fried fish or whatever. Um, but yeah, just thought about that.
Totally. That's exactly what it is. Like
Yeah,
it's the answer. The answer is honestly so simple.
yeah, yes, is right there. You
Mhm.
just got to see it. So yeah. Wow, thank you so much, Miss Tori. Detox holistic alternative holistic detox Tori.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for coming on our channel. We appreciate you and all the work you're doing. You're such a beautiful person. Thank you, Miss Boss Girl. Keep doing it. Um, I'm enjoying you. I enjoy your spirit. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Is this going on YouTube?
It's on YouTube right now.
Oh, you go live on YouTube. Hey, everybody.
Yes,
Awesome.
and the people that's gonna come and see the replay. And I have to take clips. I'm so busy, but I take clips. I'm behind too with the clips. But I take clips and then I put it because sometimes people don't find it. So and then I have to put it like that. But and then I'm put it on TikTok. A lot of people are really popular on TikTok, the videos that I post over there. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, I will look out for when you start posting things. I'm excited to connect with anyone in your audience if they resonate with type of healing or if they're dealing with any chronic conditions that, need to be addressed. I'm happy to support and thank you for having me. I love this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And enjoy your week. And the rest of the week is gone by already.
I know.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is what I tell my YouTube friends and family. Love yourself first because you are worth it. Peace.